So it's been like a year or so since I made any videos or live streams about Punishing Grey Raven, but I was curious how it's doing in 2025, and I gotta say it's doing not that bad. Now, mind you that I don't play this game as my main gacha, and I usually go on a hiatus from it for like 2 months after my PGR phase wears out. But I still get so much satisfaction out of combat, and even completed setting up a proper lightning team with some of my favorite characters in the game. But as well as being a level 90 commander gives me plenty of reasons to voice my opinion on the state of PGR is in. I don't know if you heard this, but PGR Global Team decided to catch up to the JP version of the game, and I gotta say that the 2025 year might be looking rough for casual gamers that play this game for like 20 minutes a day. Because this patch and every subsequent patch until they catch up to the JP version will actually have contents of 3 patches packed into one. And as a returning or new player, I imagine it can get overwhelming for some people. Now mind you, you still have 6 weeks to get the contents of these patches done, and weekly as well as daily missions give you 3 times the amount of the pooling currency and resources. It still doesn't quite solve the core problems of this kind of move from the devs. Let's say you are a low spending player. You probably buy a monthly card for $5 and grind the game out. Until the catching up, it was a perfectly fine way of guaranteeing yourself the new character and the signature weapon on release. But now, since they gonna triple the amount of content for one patch and the monthly card values stayed very much the same and they aren't even doubled, yeah, you might be a bit pressured by that. And while I think that catching up to the JP version of the game is a very good move to make, since you won't have to wait for a whole to get to play new content, I think it could have been done better. Maybe instead of 3 patches in one, just give us 2 per patch and plan the catch up till mid-2026 or something else. But I don't have any more ideas. Well, those issues aside, I'm still having so much fun in the game. The game modes that they make exclusively for patches are still pretty entertaining. For example, we can now play chess in PGR or its variation, and even though I don't know jack shit about chess, I'm still having a pretty fun time goofing around in it. The unit I consider as my main alpha, the Crimson Weave, is also very much a meta unit after what I believe are 8 months from her initial release. And she is probably gonna get better over time with release of a new lightning tank in the future. Take a note on that, Star Rail. And the gacha is still undoubtedly one of the best in the gacha market. On initial release of the character, you get 100% guarantee banner of getting them, and at the lowest chance of obtaining a premium character is 70 to 30%, which is still very good in today's standards. Also, the extra equipment like a weapon or a cap is also a 100% guarantee even on the first PT, and they even stay in the selective weapon pool forever for you to obtain. So in the closing words for this vid, is Punishing Grey Raven worth playing in 2025? Well, if you are a sucker for very well designed android waifus that might just shank you into 2 pieces like myself, or if you are here just to enjoy the game as a free-to-play and don't plan spending much money on the game, then I think you should go ahead and at least try it. Even though this game currently might give you some rushing up to do on the beginning of your journey, if you wanna do all the limited time events and such, I think if you have enough time to play PGR daily for like 1 to 2 hours a day, I think it's still worth. If you want a solid game that keeps you on your toes during the later stages of its endgame contents, like seriously, some bosses here have 500 bars of HP and can 2-tap you even if you have a healer and a tank and a maxed out DPS with their iconic weapon and their so-called cap, which is like an extra unit that can attack with your characters and even passively buff them. I still needed to be careful to don't let my main DPS die off in the battle. Guess I need to do some team optimization. Well, thank you so much for hearing me up. If you want to hear my Polish voice more, then consider subscribing to my channel, and hopefully I'm gonna see you in the next time.